Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll break down the dragonfly sequence, or just in general, if you're interested in understanding how the dragonfly, this arm balance pose, how we get there, and some exercises that we need to get there. In this video, we'll give some explanation to build the pose up from its different elements. As we know, the dragonfly position is a twisted pose. It's an arm balance. It's a hip opener. So it has external rotation in the right femur and hip. It has balance first on the foot and then in the twist. So it requires twisting in a hip opening position, and then we kind of find that chaturanga shape. So I'll demo it for a moment. So we'll find that chaturanga shape and the gaze is down, and then we release that leg. So that's the full position, is to go there. Now, how can we enter that position with the different elements? We need to, first of all, find balance. So the primary element is to find a flow in whatever you're doing, regular sun salutations or whatever you're setting up. It's to really find stability in your feet and hands. So you want to have the hands spread, the feet spread, and really have the strong connection to the ground. Then we want to connect to the core. So we want to have a deep core stability. This you can do, like if you're doing a regular sun salutation, for example, by doing a hold in plank and staying a bit longer to really find that stability. Now the chaturanga shape, we want to have that. So we can practice it a few times with the chest really being open and doing all your chaturangas with that awareness of a slow and mindful descent and keeping the chest open. Now, other elements of this position, except for core and arm strength that we need, is of course arm balance and foot balance. So in order to get into that into that arm balance position, of course our standard position is the crow position. So we can build up the crow. You can do it very more easily. Sometimes people doing it with blocks as well. So you're putting here and you're just releasing the feet. The use of the blocks is to already have the hips a bit higher and to easily release, because honestly, this position goes fairly easy if we keep our chest open and we make sure we shift our point of gravity. So if you're here, it's very hard. I cannot get my feet up. But if I go into that perfect 90-degree angle, then there I can just release the feet. Okay. So when we have that, what else do we have? Hip opening, external rotation in the femur of the right and left leg eventually, and the twist. So some positions that you can do for a twist is, for example, the twisted chair, the regular chair to build up the heat, and also lunges with twist. So we can be here in twisted variations, possibly with a block as well, again to keep the length in the lateral body, and do some variations of regular lunges and twisted lunges. Then for the hips, we did in this specific flow, we did the lunge position and we stayed here. And again, adding an element of twist, or of course, you can also add the pigeon to go deeper. Now, if we are ready for the position, we will bring all those elements together. So you can use the blocks as I showed in that practice video, because then you will have actually longer arms. So the idea of the blocks here is to lengthen the arms. Why? If I want to reach the floor, I need a deeper twist and that lateral engagement again. So I need to engage the core and lift through the right side of the body to get there, and then maintaining that lift. So if I use the blocks, I position them where? Actually, when my left shoulder will move over my left wrist, then my arms are shoulder width and in chaturanga position. And then from there I go down. Another fun position to work with and to feel this is to actually put the left foot over the right knee, just sitting like this. And first of all, lifting a few times this leg. So to really get this adduction and to lift and connect the core with the lifting of the leg. And then eventually we can lift here up a few times and really use the lifting also in the leg. So we want to avoid pushing all this pressure putting all this pressure on our knee. So we really want to make sure we press through the foot and engage and stabilize the hips. Again, this core stability and this core engagement that we need. So drawing it in, lifting up, and then eventually into our full position here. And one last tip is that if you get really sweaty, you want to have a towel, because otherwise you're just going to slide off, okay? With the arm balances, many times a little cheat trick in yoga is that eventually this right arm is released. You see, it's not, but I can hook it, I can put it on the hip bone. And this way I'm kind of cheating. So with many arm balances, we'll see it in other videos, you're kind of putting the extra arm to have a little bit more leverage, but it's kind of cheating because eventually you can release it. And one thing, if you do that, you want to make sure you're not collapsing. So we really don't want to have the chest dropped forward, coming back to the very first cue of your chaturangas and the preparation to keep the chest open and forward. Okay, so that was the preparation. Then how do we finalize? Is by make sure we get some internal rotation in the hips and we get a nice cool down. So we kind of prepare the joints in advance, and we also at the end, we release any tension. And the most important aspect, we keep enjoying the practice. So show up, not showing off, will give us the greatest joy in our yoga practice. So thank you so much for your trust, for playing with us today, and hope to see you soon on the mat. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.